What's up guys, Steven Knox here. Today we're gonna go over the weekly recap of July, and we're gonna talk about 3 tickers that happened this week. They're pretty crowded and I wanna give my thoughts on it, and let's get into it. So CTRV, KERN, and MLNT, those are the 3 tickers that was majorly traded this week. MLNT and this one was actually got really crowded during the pre-market. It was trading around 5 million shares in the pre-market, and if you take a look of this morning spike, because I can tell a lot of shorts got squeezed on this first green day, because the thing that they don't understand is when the stock starts to get crowded, the price action starts to hold multiple times. You cannot short into it, because all you're gonna get is gonna slow grind and squeeze you, slow grind and squeeze you again. And by the end of the day, you're down huge. In the second day, there's a huge gap up and you got or either force cover or whatever. So that's not a very good idea. Avoid trades that was super crowded if it was trading 40 million or plus intraday. Now let's talk about longs. So on this ticker, you can go long because now on this specific candle, if you take a look of 1013 and 1008, those 2 candles considered to be bearish candles, and when the stock is bouncing, when the stock also does a bearish candle after the huge panic into a bounce, most of the time, if the stock is not crowded, the candle will fail. In this case, the stock held it pretty much 2 times. It traded a huge amount of volume, 1.2 million, and also there's a huge stuff in the 1047. It held again. So I don't understand people are still shorting it, because there's a couple stuffing actions it held perfectly. Once it does this breakout, people eventually got squeezed. So overall, mistake starts from here. If you are seeing a crowded trades, even though did a huge panic into a bounce and it held 3 times or plus, don't try to go long anymore. You can go small on the longs, but don't try to go short. So then I think I made a mistake. Don't try to go short at in the morning after the panic if it's a crowded trades. And after that, the stock forced a huge support underneath. So the reason why I didn't really short on MLNT is because if you take a look, most consolidation ended around $6 area. Then after market open, now there's a tons of people that bought at $5 or $6 area, so there's a tons of resistance as well. Now, as you can see, there's a tons of volume traded around $5 to $6 area. So when the stock pulls back, there's a whole lot of support going on. So I can't really tell where's the support, and that's why I didn't short into it. Well, turns out the stock faded, and also right here, if you short it after first red day. Now, this is the criteria if you want to short into first red day, is because if we are planning to short using the first red day pattern, first red day needs to be finished very weak. So this one does qualify the pattern. But if you take a look at the overall charts, the stock pulled already 50%, and there's also tons of support in the $5 to $6 area. It's also a scroll grind. So if you want to kind of tell where the support is, it's around actually starting from 4 to 6. So you can't really tell. And well, first, the stock dropped 50% already. That's not enough risk reward if you're using first red day pattern to short into. Second, there's tons of support underneath. You can't really tell where is the support. So those 2 factors plus together, it's not a really first red day short pattern, unless it rate pushes again into the $6 to $7 area. I still wouldn't even short it, because the neutralized area is already 5. So I don't really have that risk reward. If I short around 7, I will have to cover at 5. Always think about what the stock does and what is the risk reward after your assumption. Think through that first, make a judgment after that. And KERN, this ticker was very strange. It was 100 million cap. I didn't really trade it because the stock is not really behaving very normal, and there's only a little amount of shares being traded. It was traded up, I think, around 3 million shares, and it took the stock from like $20 to $80. And during the morning, the stock did got stuffed. I was planning to short, but since it doesn't really qualify any patterns, when I go into a trade, I always ask myself, what kind of pattern am I trading? In this case, I can't really find any kind of pattern I can really use it to short into, and I don't have a resistance to even risk at all. Only thing I can pick is like the morning panic and short into this bounce, risking the top, but doesn't really qualify as any pattern. Also very low liquidity, and that's why I didn't really short into. That's for KERN. If you shorted, congrats. If you didn't, I think it's a good habit to avoid those very strange ticker. Now, CTRV, this ticker, super low flow. When the stock does a morning panic and you already lost 50% of the entire pre-market gain, typically, stock doesn't really push anymore. It just straight dies. That's why I didn't really short into it. If you want to go long after the market open, the pre-market strength has to be very steady. You cannot be making those panics before the market open. Because when the stock does a panic in the morning and already lost 50%, people will lose hope and they will not tend to buy the ticker anymore. Number two, when people are sized in the pre-market and they're down 20% after market open, what they will do is they want to sell into a push. Once it does push, and the push will get destroyed because the people are sizing in pre-market into a breakout wants to get out. So two of those situations that you don't really want to go long when the stock loses 50% in the pre-market. That's overall for those three tickers. Hopefully it's helpful. Hopefully you can use analysis into future tickers as well. If you have questions, leave a comment below, and we have an upcoming conference in August, so if you'll come watch me live trade and talk about your trading journey, you're welcome to come, and there's a link to register the spot. That'll be it. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys next video.